So there's an epidemic right now amongst us musicians. I've been doing these consultation calls with aspiring artists and producers, and one of the main things that keeps coming up that I'm realizing about most people is the number one thing stopping musicians from succeeding is simply just overthinking. So in this video, I'm gonna go over some examples of overthinking and how it affects us as creatives, and hopefully give you some solutions that'll help you overcome it. If you don't know who I am, I'm L.Dre. I pretty much make chill beats for a living. I've gotten over 200 million streams, and I make a lot of content about mindset, marketing, and all that kind of stuff to help you succeed just as much as I have. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So in my opinion, overthinking is a silent creativity killer that can paralyze even the most talented musicians. So some common examples of overthinking, whether it be from my consultation calls or just you guys in the comments, is one, let's say you're just starting to get into music. One of the most common ones is, what DAW should I use? What kind of gear should I buy? What kind of headphones are those? What monitors are those? Should I get this plugin? Should I get that plugin? I want to start filming myself making music. What camera should I get? And the problem with that type of overthinking is like, you haven't started, you know? And I feel like a lot of people, they overthink the start and what they need to get started to the point where they just simply don't start. Spending all day on Google, all day on YouTube trying to figure out what's the best way to start when they haven't even made a beat yet. And I feel like this type of overthinking is just really goes hand in hand with procrastination. Or maybe it stems from fear of like not succeeding. So you're trying to make everything perfect, you're trying to get everything together so that you can be set up for success. But in reality, it's just so much uncertainty in anything. While you're worrying about the gear, while you're worrying about the plugin, somebody else just picked up their iPhone or iPad, downloaded GarageBand for free, and just started fooling around and putting stuff together. And they're already 10 steps ahead of you. The next stage of overthinking that's super common for musicians is once you actually start making music, a lot of people are overthinking if their music is even good enough. They're overthinking if they should post their music because they think people might not like it, or people might hate it, or it might not do any numbers. People are making music and stockpiling it, but they are overthinking the release. How many tracks should I release a month? What type of artwork should I use? Should I drop an album? Should I drop singles? What's the strategy? How can I go viral? All these questions, all these overthinking, when in reality, if you barely have released or posted anything, like it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be a little blunt, but like if you have no fans, what does it even matter? So in that stage, yes, you've been making music, you probably feel a little good about it. If your goal is to be a big musician with tons of fans or whatever it may be, but you're not releasing anything, or you're not making any content, or you're not showing your music to people, how do you expect to achieve any of those goals? And that's something I struggle with a lot, don't get me wrong. Even now that I have this fan base, I'm always wondering, oh, if I switch genres, will people like it? Or if I do this type of video, are people gonna respond to it properly? But as I was growing, I'm not gonna lie, I think I probably overthought a little less. All I knew was I needed to post, I needed to put myself out there. And even if I wasn't even good in the beginning, I had plenty of opportunities in the past that kind of came my way that I didn't get because quite frankly, I wasn't ready and I wasn't good enough. Now, hindsight is 2020. When I look back at these different situations, whether I'm entering beat battles or submitting my music for playlists or whatever, I used to be so pissed about not getting on these pages or these blogs or these playlists. But looking back, I'm like, no, my beats weren't even good yet. Like my beats were still developing. I was still developing as an artist, but I was just practicing over time in front of an audience, and that helped me big time. And one thing I'm struggling with right now is, if you saw my last video on my strategies for the year, one of my strategies is just to overall be more productive and schedule my life better. And I've been overthinking that. Like I'm overthinking my schedule. I'm spending an entire day trying to plan out my week and figuring out, okay, should I do this day? What time should I do this? What time should I practice keys? Blah, blah, blah. And even that, like I'm overthinking that and I'm spending so much time planning when I could be doing. It's kind of messing me up a little. So again, successful musician, 200 million streams, but I'm still actively trying to curve my overthinking. So just know that you're not alone. And also, I don't know if this is a little depressing, but just know that it probably won't stop. It's just something that you have to grow with and kind of practice daily to overcome. Now, I've gone over a few different examples of overthinking, so now you can get a better idea. You might be relating, you might be like, holy shit, this is me. But before we get on to solutions, just know that there is kind of a term for these things. Like I like to think of it as analysis paralysis, which essentially is just the state of being overwhelmed by constant analysis and overthinking of a situation to the point where it becomes difficult to act. So when you catch yourself overthinking, think about analysis paralysis, because that is what you want to avoid. Thinking so much that you don't get anything done. If you've been watching closely, you might already be fabricating ideas on how to overcome it, because honestly, the answer is quite simple, and I don't want to use a Nike quote here, but low-key, just do it. That just felt cringe coming out of my mouth, so I'll let Shia LaBeouf take it from here. Just do it! But essentially, all these examples of overthinking that I've mentioned can be overcome by simply taking a step back. Okay, this is where the big mindset tricks come to play, because first things first, you have to recognize when you're doing it. That is why I gave you the term analysis paralysis, because for me, when I found out about that term, I don't know what it was, but something clicked in my brain so that when I am overthinking, I can sometimes tell, and I'm like, hold on, this is gonna lead me to nowhere. Let me just pick this and do it. So, and honestly, that's kind of the only way to get things done, is to just start taking action. So one of the things that I'm doing, I mentioned in my last video, but I have notes and to-do lists full of ideas that I want to tackle that I just never get around to. So now every single week, I'm looking at those ideas and placing them into my schedule so I can just do them, bro. Outside of my own personal example, if you're someone who's getting into making music or thinking about making music, you recognize that, okay, yeah, maybe I've been worried about which DAW I should use too much. Maybe I should just download a free trial of Ableton or download a free trial of FL Studio and just get to it, or pull out my phone, hop on GarageBand and just get to it. Or honestly, find a tutorial of something you're trying to learn. Literally search up how to make beats or something. Whatever the first video you see that you feel like a connection to that YouTuber and you like the way they teach, just use what they're using, and then you can just follow their videos. That's kind of how I did with Ableton and Chris Punsalon. That's like one of my closest homies now, but he was like one of the first people I saw making beats on Ableton, so I was just like, all right, cool, I use Ableton, I'm just gonna watch this dude's videos, and I learned a lot from him back then. So that's one thing, and it's the obvious thing, just do it. Another thing I'd like you to practice, and this is something that I've learned over time, this is what helps me, okay? This is a personal thing. Don't use it because it's gonna sound a little ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little morbid. But the truth of the matter is, nothing fucking matters, bro. Nothing matters. Okay, not to say go off and just do whatever you want and who cares about anything, but think about it, bro. We are literally on a floating rock. The universe is so vast. We're in a floating rock, and each rock has multiple continents, multiple countries, multiple states, cities, zip codes. Like, we're just this, like, we're just a little piece of dust, bro. So if you find yourself overthinking about, oh, what type of content should I make? How many times should I post a week? How many songs should I release? Take a step back and realize it don't matter, bro, especially if you don't have any fans yet. You can literally do anything. Post as much as you want. Do any type of content. You can, in the same week, you can make a lo-fi beat, a heavy metal beat, and a motherfucking pirate ship beat. I don't know, what's that pirate genre, bro? Yo, all right, I'm getting off track. Don't take it too serious, I guess, until it is serious, because for me, obviously, like, you know, I did my thing, and then I got successful, and then I got a house, and I got all these responsibilities, so now, yeah, I have to make a certain amount of songs, certain amount of videos, this and that, because I gotta make a certain amount of money to maintain my lifestyle, yada, yada, sure. So especially if you're just starting out, or if you're just figuring it out, like, try to remember, like, it don't matter, bro, like, do whatever you want. Like, my TikTok currently is in the dumps. So I just post literally whatever. I'll come up with a strategy at some point, but like posting some random shit is better than nothing at all, because at least people know I'm alive, you know what I'm saying? This not only helps me get things done, but it also helps me with things like self-doubt and like depression. It's kind of like when I post a song or an Instagram post and like it gets barely any views, or like the streams are very low, or I don't get in this playlist or this or that. There were times where that would really get to me and kind of ruin my whole day, I'm not gonna lie. But once I developed this mindset of just like keep going, because at some point something good is gonna happen as long as you don't quit, like that's when I truly started succeeding, when I just kind of let go of these kind of things. Not to say that the stats and the numbers don't get to me sometimes, but I am able to look past that and just carry on. Like, that's just how I live at this point. Another thing I want to mention that could be super useful is finding somewhat of a mentor or just someone to talk to that is doing anything similar to you. Obviously it's great to have like friends you can call up or whatever it may be. It can also be digitally, like watching my videos, for example. If anything I say is helpful and useful to you, like that's great, and hopefully you can look to me as a mentor. Or like when I do videos, when I'm like, for example, my video on the 2 books that changed my life. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave the link below the like button. Essentially, there was 2 books that I feel like changed my life. So if you haven't seen that, you go watch it. If you feel inspired, read those books. And these type of things can all shift your mindset. If you're trying to learn stuff, buy some courses or something. Quick plug to myself, I just released a new masterclass called How to Get Your Music Heard, My Success Blueprint. And in this masterclass, I literally go over branding, content creation, release strategies, all types of tips, tricks, and strategies that got me from 0 to 200 million streams. And it's super thorough. I also created like some questionnaires and some PDF release strategy stuff. And if you watch that and follow that religiously, like it can take a lot of the guesswork out and put you on the right path towards your goals. And you know what? On the spot, as I'm recording this, I'm gonna offer a limited time discount for the people that watch this video. The code is on the screen. Let's do 20% off or something like that. This code, 20% off, limited time, maybe just for like a week or something. But yeah, to reflect and wrap it all up, I personally believe one of the main things, there's a lot of factors, but one of the main things stopping you or me or any other musicians from succeeding is overthinking. And I guarantee you ask any successful musician how overthinking plays a part in how they navigate life, and they'll have something to say, bro. Everybody does it. I am a testament to that. And I've also been able to overcome it in several different avenues of my life. And honestly, if you follow some of the advice in this video, I believe you will too. Because at the end of the day, all it is shifting your mindset to paying attention and catching yourself in the state of overthinking and just deciding to take action. And if you're someone who struggles from overthinking and you found ways to kind of curb that, please let us know in the comment section. Let's start a discussion. Any tips you guys have, please put it in there. And if you're looking for tips, check the comments as well, because hopefully a lot of good people share their thoughts. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped you in any way. Catch you in the next video. Peace.